And we are live.
What it do? What it do? What it do? Now I already know. I already know. It's Monday, and we were lit. Not only were
Mm,
we lit, but we was turned up on last night, eh? Will Smith slapping Chris Rock on national TV made my day. I missed the slap live, but I could not help but catch all the replays. Jezebel, did you see the slap heard around the world?
I did definitely see the slap. I don't know how I feel about it though, because it took
Yeah.
me, I had to watch it 4 times to understand what he was upset about. Then I watched it 4 times. Then I had to read comments and blogs to try to understand what he was upset about.
Right, right. That part took me away. Of course, now of course I knew that the hair was a little sensitive, maybe for to black women. I know black women love their hair, you know. But I didn't hear a joke about her hair. I didn't hear a joke about her hair or not even having hair. Right? He
Right.
made a joke referencing another bald actress or movie where actress was bald in it.
Right.
Um, and he acknowledged that she could get that role pretty easily. I don't know if she hated G.I. Jane or hates Demi Moore. Maybe, but when I listened to it over and over again and I watched it over and over again, I still drew the same conclusion. Will Smith is a cold sucker. Now,
Okay.
there was people saying that he was protecting his wife.
Now,
Now, to all you people using that word, protecting,
I seen a meme saying if he want to protect his wife, he need to cancel Red Table Talk.
I mean, listen, I'm trying to understand. They're like, me being a married man, I guess people don't understand how I can ask these type of questions. But
Right.
what is protecting? Where was the protection? And I need people to understand. Now, protection is meaning that there was imminent danger coming towards one person and you protected them from that. So, explain to me where the protection was. You guys are free to leave that on my comments on my Facebook page. One day, instead of putting success down there, I'm gonna put my real name up there so y'all can go to my Facebook and let me know what y'all, let me know how y'all really feeling, what's really on your minds. But one thing I do know, I don't like that term protection being used in this instance.
Well, in Jada's defense, when he made
Jada's
the
defense.
joke, yes, when he made the joke, she giggled a little bit, but then her face kind of turned sour. So I could understand if Will was looking at his wife and he's seeing the distress in her face from the joke, it might have upset him. But I'm thinking about the
Huh.
time frame of that. Then I'm thinking about the history. Maybe they have some history, between each other, and he got tired of Chris Rock maybe speaking on his wife, and that was just the opportunity to do what he
Well,
did.
well, there is history. Chris Rock did use, they were the subjects of jokes when they chose to boycott the Oscars years ago because they wasn't nominated for any awards. And they led the charge that, remember the charge, white Oscars?
Mhm.
Wasn't that led by Jada Smith and her crew? White Oscars, everyone boycott the Oscars. So I mean, like, she obviously has a problem with the Oscars and comedians and being the bunt end of a joke. But my problem is you don't have a problem when your husband is the butt end of the joke on your behalf. Now, what's most interesting is I did hear a lot of people bringing light to the facial expression that was made after the joke, and I was thinking to myself, so is that her like Will get him face? Is that like the face she makes? And whenever Will sees that face, does he just go up and smack people? And if that's the case, who else has been smacked by the Jada Smack'em face that apparently was given to Will Smith for him to go up and smack a man? Now, of course, me and a lot of other people are pointing to staged, fake. It just was a part of the show.
Mhm.
right? Of
That's what I
course, these actors, they're greatest, the three of the best actors in the world. So of course it could have been staged. I mean, the Oscars has been pretty white lately.
mhm,
No one has talked about it lately,
mhm.
and now we can't stop talking about it.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of little scenarios being thrown out, but I'm only going based off the scenario right now that it really happened.
You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of like a WWF Raw, or you know what I'm saying, like a wrestling match. Like the
Yeah,
smack, I kept, and that's maybe why I kept watching it over and over, because I wanted to see the connect, and I didn't honestly see the connect. It looked like how a wrestling match looked like. You look like you smacked somebody, but what did you say in real life?
yeah.
It's like the reaction. The only reason I kind of believe it is because the media saying that it wasn't staged, but I don't know. I'm giving it to
The
God.
only thing that kind of sold me a little bit was when he was yelling, "Keep my cheating ass wife name out your mouth." I'm sorry, he was yelling, "Keep my effing wife's name out your mouth." I'm sorry. I'm sorry. They muted the screen on when I heard it, so I had to. I was reading the comments and somebody said he was yelling, "Keep my cheating ass wife name out your mouth,"
He
and
tried to smack them. He better stop playing with Will. Keep his wife name. But he didn't have that same energy for Laverne.
he ain't had that same energy for a lot of people that's been making a lot of jokes about her bald headed tail disrespecting him up and down the daggone red talk table.
So I feel like it's more, they're trying to make it more about her alopecia. And to Chris Rock's defense, right? Jada
Yeah,
always wears her hair short. I mean, as long as we've known her, other than in a couple of movies where she has braids, she usually keeps her hair short. So
right.
unless you've been following her, how would you know that she shaved all her hair
Even
because
if
of
you do
this?
know, even if you do know, there a lot of people don't know that they send comedians and clowns onto the terminal ill ward in hospitals to make them laugh and tell jokes and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And y'all don't think that hair jokes are on the list? I mean, come
I
on, people. This is not a
mean,
terminal illness. I'm not. I don't know nothing about medical stuff, right? But no one has said to me, "Yo, six, you need to be a little sensitive. She can die from this disease. Like she's dying from alopecia." You feel me? Like it's not like I would get that. You feel me? So no. And then again, GI Jane is not a movie of like demeaning a woman with bald head, right?
Mhm.
It's a powerful movie where she wanted to fit in. She cut her hair. She showed the men that she was a part of them. She could fight in the war. She could do just as much as they could do. Blah blah blah. Me too. Whatever the case may be, we've already debunked the mystery that women and men and all that stuff with the new trannies playing sports and beating them and coming in number one. But we're gonna talk about that in a second. But what I am saying is that it does not matter. Like you, let's just take out. Let's just put on the check. He's talking about his wife. He's making her look really bad. Are we 10? Are we teenagers still where we could just go out and start just fisticuffing with whoever says whatever?
I
Because
mean,
there's a lot of people out there saying some things that I don't like. Should I just start slapping people?
that's what I was thinking about. I was like, okay, in one aspect, it's showing people that you really can't say what you want to say out here and just think it's going to fly. In the
Well, you can't.
other
Yeah, you can't. You can't.
aspect, it's showing, well, if somebody says something that I don't like, should I just resort to violence? Um, and then
In
right
the
now,
workplace. Make sure you mention in the workplace. Because what I like people to understand is this, right? These Oscars awards and ceremonies and stuff is for them what they did at their job. What they get paid to do, they were being honored that night for it. What they get paid to do. The comedian aspect was brought in to be comedic and keep the show going. He was being paid to do what he was being paid to do. Everyone there doing their job on the job. So you can't sit up that joint and just be like, on one hand, because you saw his apology speech where he said, "I know we're in this industry where people can say whatever, do whatever," and like a lot of people got to
no, no,
understand
no, no,
something.
slow now. I didn't see the apology speech. So could you please enlighten me? Because I heard he apologized and then something about you'll do anything for love or something like that. I heard.
Yeah, he said love will make you do crazy things. He also apologized to the Academy, not to Chris Rock. But pretty
Mm,
much in his speech, he was apologizing to the Academy, and he was saying pretty much trying to make it like less of the situation. Also saying that he's still pretty much embodying the role of King Richard. You know, the Williams sisters' dad, who was this powerful figure and didn't take anything and stood up for his family. But that's why I believe it was staged because of that whole speech that he gave
yeah.
afterwards. But in the same breath, I'm trying to understand at what point do we start saying to ourselves words at a comedy from a like that's like me going to wilding out and start just kirking off on everybody that makes jokes about me or whatever. I mean, I don't know the ramifications of Will and Chris Rock's relationship,
Yeah. I
right?
shouldn't.
But you were only the topic of conversation as a couple. Your wife only became the topic of conversation because he was already joking on another couple at the time. And Will
Mm,
Smith was having a good time laughing at that other couple. I didn't see that husband get up and smack Chris Rock, and I didn't see that wife get up, but you know, they were white. But like, let's just be straight up and down, right? Because that's not what really got me hot.
so
That's not what, the smack. The smack didn't get me hot. The attack. Let me put it like that. The attack didn't get me hot. I mean, sure, I've never seen on TV a man sucker slap a man with his hands behind his back while laughing after telling the joke, obviously thinking you're coming up for conversation. Um, we've watched plenty of war shows. Well, maybe he thought it was gonna be another hoodie award show. You know, when big Lavelle Crawford and Mr. Black was started to crack on each other because one joke was made from the podium and that other person was not taking it, so they had their own session. But what really took me away, Jezebel, was the ladies' responses. And not all of the ladies, but there were a lot of the ladies that were trying to make this like a measure of
mm,
manhood
yeah.
and a
If my
measuring
man
stick.
don't defend me like Will, I don't wanna. Yeah.
That was
I seen
crazy.
that earlier.
I was asked, this guy asked me, he said, so if someone embarrasses your wife, you're not going to do anything? This girl asked me, I see your status, your page says you're married. So if someone is humiliating your wife, you're not going to do anything? And another lady with this question was really ridiculous. So if your wife is in danger, you won't protect her, is what you're saying.
How is she
And
in danger?
these comments got me so hot. You know, because I do remember saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words may never hurt me.
Uh-huh.
Well,
That's
in high
sad.
school, like I said, in middle school, high school, elementary school, words did hurt me. You said my mama was fat, I'm on your ass. My mama may have been fat, but I was still on your ass. If you said I was wearing pro wings, and I may have had on the Pro Wing Classics 2.0s, but if you talked about those Pro Wing Classics 2.0s, you was getting your Pro Winged ass with. It just happened like that. As I got older, I started realizing I was missing out on opportunities, great opportunities. While my high school was winning championships, I was on the sideline.
Mm,
Why? Because I chose to resort to violence whenever words were said. So I'm always in trouble. Now, of course, Chris Rock did the man up thing by not pressing charges, but I want y'all people to understand something in Hollywood. That don't mean that something won't be paid, something won't be done. All you people that saying Will Smith was not wrong, he apologized. So don't tell me when a man apologizes, just acknowledge that that man knows he was wrong, and it's not your place to try to defend him and make him feel like he wasn't
but
wrong.
he apologized to the Oscars. He did not apologize to Chris Rock.
Of course not, which is some cornball stuff. which is some real cornball stuff, which lets me know that there's something real in the city. Shannon Sharp said it earlier, and I 100% stand with Shannon Sharp. If a man slaps me like that, it's on sight wherever we at. Every time I see you.
So how do you feel about, so you don't like Chris Rock's grown approach and his response to getting, like, do you think he should have reacted, or do you think he reacted perfectly for the setting?
I believe this. I have to make sure that I address this so all of my viewers totally 100% get what I'm saying and don't confuse what I'm saying. It's about the workplace and right, I'm at work. If I'm at work and you slap me, now we millionaires, right? Let's play the millionaire game first. We millionaires, yes, Chris Rock handled that situation correct because there's a lot of things now that has to happen that's gonna happen in the behind the scenes. Lot of things that's imminent in the future. So what happens is now there's going to be a position change, a shift in the guards, some type of rights will be paid. But let's just be in the real world, man to man. Nah, Chris Rock should have knocked his ass out on that stage. For one, Chris Rock, I hope you learned a valuable lesson today. You don't let nobody walk up on you and you joking and joning and going having a good time, laughing and kiki and smiling. Don't let no man walk up on you.
He
And for
didn't even
two,
expect it. Yeah.
that's my point. But for two, if a man gonna cold backhand and slap you and be off balance when he come around and walk off, you better knock his ass out. But it's a check to be gotten. It's a check to be got. Don't mess up your money. People, don't mess up your money. That's all I'm telling y'all. That's what I've been telling everybody. Don't mess up your money. Your money is more important than your image. Because with the right money, you can fix your image. But if you mess up your image, you won't be able to get any money. So you gotta fix that. The money is more important than your image, man. You gotta be smarter than that. And if Jada Pickett can't take a joke, she should have thought about that. Period. They all grown ups in the entertainment business. They all have done comedic stuff and roast sessions and stuff like that. And I get it. People want to say that wasn't the time and the place for it. They were there for one thing. You don't know what you come into a building for when you walk into a building. But for whatever you getting, they got their Oscar out of it. The whole Oscars was ruined. Samuel Jackson got his first Oscar and no one knows about it but me.
Mm.
Questlove got his Oscar. No one knows about it. Shaquille O'Neal got his Oscar. No one knows about it. Steph Curry received him an Oscar. No one knows about it because Will Smith is the talk of town because he acted like he was Willie in West Philly. But actually, everybody, that joke is old, y'all. We can't use that joke that he was acting like Willie in West Philly because Willie in West Philly got scared when a couple of guys came up. Him and his mom moved him to Bel Air so he wouldn't have no smoke. no, he
That's
didn't do that. He
sad.
didn't do that to those couple of guys that started making trouble in his neighborhood.
Mm.
The way he showed it, he was getting spun around like a helicopter.
So do you
And
think that he deserves to get reprimanded?
repercussions?
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yeah. And not only, and the reason why I believe that because he used the term. If he's using the act, the term that he's standing by his wife on this, it's time for Will Smith to see his wife stand by him on something, and he got to pay. And if he was doing this for her, then she got to be willing and understandable, and not run back in other people's beds and DMs and stuff like that. That's what everybody was been telling me all day. Like he should have been doing that when she was in August DMs, but
Mm.
that's neither here nor there. Of course, we like how can people tell us to stop? We can't stop rocking with the Grammys and the Oscars.
Why not?
Y'all got to stop thinking that we can't just start black things to get acceptance and to be verified. We have to dominate white stuff for it to be solid.
Hold
You
on.
can't you can't discreate to negate greatness and to negate stature.
Well, it seems like a lot of people are starting to feel that way. Quavo says the Grammys are no longer they no longer matter, and that Jay Prince is trying to start his own rival show. So
Yeah,
you
yeah, but
know,
s-
a lot
what's
of
it
people
gonna
are
matter?
starting to feel like, why are we going into these spaces trying to beg for acceptance and get their notoriety when we can have our own? Since
Because we need
they're
it,
getting
right?
rich
We
off
need.
of us.
Yeah, but look though, they're getting rich off of us playing their game. They don't get rich off of us playing our game and doing our thing. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly why people want us to have our own thing. Like, think about the label owners,
Yes.
and the top execs, and how much they get paid and how much they eat, as opposed to the little coins,
Yeah.
that the actual artist, or that you might not even be an artist. You might be doing something else that you may receive, the little crumbs that you get out of
Right.
the pot. Even when it comes to these award shows, I mean, I feel like, why does it matter more when someone else gives you praise, as opposed to like the Black award shows? Like, a lot of these celebrities wouldn't even show up for a Soul Train award or BET awards, but they'll
Correct.
go out their way to show up for these awards. And I mean, just a lot of people feel that way.
Yeah, and like honestly, I do get all the people that feel that way. I get it. Everybody that wants to be pro black, power to the people. But let's just be real, y'all. Not notoriety amongst us means nothing. It doesn't mean anything if all of my black brothers and sisters think I'm the best in the world and think I deserve everything in the world. All of y'all love Tyler Perry and Medea, but come on, she is she ever is Medea ever number one? Like, does Medea hold the records for the top watch movies?
I mean, shouldn't she?
The
Hasn't she
thing, the thing,
before?
the, the thing about it is, right? It's not these award. You're not these award shows are not notoriety to just that class. They're notoriety to the majority. You see what I'm saying? It's like, yes, if 50,000 people agree that I win this award, that is awesome. But this award is saying 1 million people believe that I'm this.
Mm.
So it's like, you can't negate or having that, as well as the fact it remains that whose whose networks are we on?
I just want to interject and say it can be, because you will be, if you pull away, you'll be redirecting that same traffic that's going to those spaces looking for you to your own space,
Yeah, but the
which
thing
will
is,
then
the
increase.
people that this is what I always like to explain to people, right? My platform, your platform. If we bring an artist on here, right, and we introduce that artist to our followers will believe whatever we say about them and let that be until they make their own analogy, right? Now, if we get an artist on the show and be like, yo, his music is lit, you should listen to it, go to it right now, download his stuff, they're gonna listen, they're gonna check it out. And we could take that same artist after he messes us up and screws us over and tell the same 20, 30, 100, 200, 10,000, 1 million people that we told that he's lit, that we made him lit and he's a piece of trash. And they're gonna automatically turn right then and there. You see what I'm saying? Like,
Mm.
the notoriety and the numbers is the only thing that made you. So the thing about it is, like, I rap my ass off every day.
You rock your ass off.
And all my close work talks about it. Right? Now the reality of it is, my closest network is not afraid to say, yo, this is fire. They jump in my DMs and say, this is fire, this is great. But let's just be real. All it would take is a Def Jam co-assignment, an Interscope co-assignment, a Universal Music Group co-assignment, and that'll take them from telling me in my DMs to talking
Mhm.
about it on their walls. You see what I'm saying? So like the thing about it is, the person doing it does not need the white notoriety. It's the people that pays to see it or pays what they call its worth.
Mhm.
They're the ones that make you need that Oscar or need that Grammy or need that Essence Award. You know what I'm saying? Like they're the ones that got us feeling that way because at the end of the day, if you ain't on the billboards, you ain't shit to people.
Right.
If you ain't at the box office, no one cares. J Money Gibbs got about 20 movies that he's been in. He's been in over 20 movies. But do you think people take the time to respect that man as an actor and or even give him his kudos? I bet you they would once he walk up there on that white stage and they say, supporting cast member or cast role J Money Gibbs.
Mhm.
Everybody be like, yo, that's my boy. He been acting his ass off. He like that. I've been telling everybody he can act. See what I'm saying? Like, so it's not the doers that determine. Will Smith didn't determine I need an Oscar. You know what I'm saying? Everyone around him saying they got Oscars. They got Oscars. They got Oscars. Make you want to get up there and win one. Because at the end of the day, no matter what you do, no matter what job you do, that's like an NBA player saying, "Why go to the All Star game?" Like what?
I
Why play in the
mean,
finals? Nah, you've earned that right. You earn it. Like it doesn't matter what we do as black people, right? If we can start our own stuff, we can set up our own stuff. In fact, we should set up our own infrastructures and we should set up our own stuff and start bigging up our people so that these people have no choice but to
mhm.
give them these awards. You see what I'm saying? I mean, but let's just be real. They don't do that. Even black award shows are more so catering to the white aesthetics.
Why would you say that? What makes you
I
think
mean, like when you look at the Essence Awards, it doesn't look any different than the Tony Awards. And when they do these award shows, they set them up to look like the Oscars and the Emmys, and they set up for the red carpet, and they set up for the pictures, and they set up for they do it just like them.
Well, what's
It's
wrong
like
with that?
nothing. So if we want to do it, if we want to do what they're doing, we need to just start playing in their ballpark
See,
and really taking
the
it over.
only reason I go against that because I feel like if we like how and is I understand what you're saying. Like basically, if we pull out and put everything into our own stuff, they will have to come into our space. As opposed to we going to their space, they would have to come into our space. And I think
Yeah,
that's what a lot of people is trying to get. Like for so many years, I think what is this? Their 94th, which 74th or 94th anniversary or something. The Oscars been out forever,
right.
so they've had their time. Um, how much more are we gonna run to these platforms to try to beg
94.
for beg for
Until,
notoriety?
until we don't need them. Until there's black platforms that's just as big that can get you just the same amount of clout and status, and that's going to take years of infrastructure and years of missing out, and that means that years of money going to other people besides the people that deserve it because they're trying to be new. I told this one artist who wants to start, he's signed to a label, he's signed to a management company, but he wants to start his own label and start from scratch. And I told him, well, that's interesting. Why do you want to do that? What's wrong with your label? What's wrong with your team? Nothing. I just want to be bigger. I want to branch off. I said, so you want to go to day one while your label is already on day 1,000. So you can't expect day 1,000 results. You have to be looking at day one results. The problem is a lot of people will want to use the same infrastructure that they gained from, like I said, the same white aesthetics It's like I want to gain all these fans from the white people. I want to have them put me in their platform to tell everybody I'm big enough and I'm good enough, and then I want to go over here and say screw them. We're gonna do our own thing. How is that gonna work? The only way that has to work. Who wants to be? Who is willing? Who is willing to sacrifice that time to be the martyr for that transition in time? Because this the 94th one, and y'all see that they was all talking about white Oscars. Holly Berry was the first one to win, first black person or black woman maybe to win the Oscar award, and that was what, like 10 years ago maybe, and they on 94. So you guys are willing to do 88 black award shows before you start letting white people play.
I mean, no, not like that. At least get it started. You don't have to stall them out to where they can play. I'm just
Yeah,
saying, as
but
far as ownership, as far as having full power over everything, like we don't have any spaces. I go back to
yeah,
look at these label execs. Look at who owns these record labels.
yeah, it's only
The
three.
top ones, right? It's only three, and none of them are us.
None of them are us. No.
So
And like honestly, people don't hate me, don't crucify me. Tanya Cash, please don't kill me for this. But that's the best thing that ever happened for business, though. Could you imagine if black people ran it from the beginning? I'm scared of my people and how we run things.
all of us aren't the same. And that's why we was
No,
like,
no,
I feel like you. I feel exactly like you. However, I still have hope. So I feel like we may get it wrong. You may have some in there that's just not right. But there's still people like Master
yeah.
P or you know,
Like these people, like the reason why black people don't have these type of structures though, and black people don't crucify me, y'all, because I love us, I love our people. But the reason why is because black people do not step outside themselves to big up other people.
mm,
I'm sorry, y'all, but we too selfish. Like I get on 2K to play with some randoms, and everyone got mics, and you can tell who's white, you can tell who's black, and it's not based on just them talking either. It's gameplay. It's how they play on the game and interact on the game. White people, not trying to be funny, guys, but white people up there, let's pass the ball around, guys. Hey, guys, let's play as a team, bros. Hey, bros, if we play as a team, we can win this game, bros. Black people, pass me the ball. Shoot. Pass me the ball. Give me the ball. Hit me. Hit me. Hit me, bro. I'm open, bro. I'm open. So black people don't do enough of saying, yo, bro, you tight. Yo, bro, that's good. Yo, bro, I like that. Yo, bro, yo, sis, good job, sis. Good job. They don't do that enough. So it's like you ask a black person who their top is. If you ask them indie or something like that, they're gonna name their circle. Their circle. If you ask them mainstream, they're gonna name their circle. You know what I'm saying? You can always kind of tell where a black man was raised when you ask him things like, "What's your favorite this? What's your favorite that?" And it's like if you say something weird to a black person, like, "Oh, I like buffalo," but it's like, "Yeah, man, buffalo. I like buffalo." Like it's cool. So like black people, we have to put ourselves in a position that yes, we want to be black owned, but we have to learn how to support black owned.
mm,
I mean, like that's why the Grammys is so big because they go into colleges and grab kids and put them in the Grammy Academy.
that's true.
Allow people to submit their music and so like the Oscar, there's some people sitting around watching all of these movies. Probably they probably not watching Soul Plane. I mean, obviously, because Soul Plane was a great movie, and everyone says it was trash. I loved it. I've seen it a couple of times. Better than Baby Boy, you know. But that's how we do. When we gonna change that narrative? Because that's the real narrative. Because honestly, our people don't support until the white man tells them to support.
and that's sad. That's ridiculously sad. It shouldn't take for
It
that.
is
But
sad.
then also on the
Even if we
other
did
end
start a
of
Black
it,
Award show, without even if we did start a Black Award show without the validation from a Fox network, without the validation from an ABC network or CBS or NBC, who gonna take it seriously if you tell them our award show on Tubi,
well,
our
let's
award show
let's
is
let's be clear right now. If someone that is, let's say, if Jay Z or maybe
no, not Jay Z.
let's say Jay Z started an award show. Let's say if Diddy started his own award show. I mean, people will flock to it. I feel like
No one would flock to a Jay Z award show.
I mean,
Would you
not an
want to?
award show, a network. My bad, a network. I'm talking about like even with
I think the
50
only
Cent
one that
right
can. Okay, let's. I think the only black person that can create a network that we will all flock to, well, besides Ray J and Zeus Network, that no one has been talking about besides me, seemingly. But Zeus Network is a black network, Ray J, and I have subscription to it. I know a lot of people don't.
now. Hold on,
But if
Ray
50
J
Cent
owns
wasn't
it.
started, yeah,
Oh, well, see,
yeah.
people, maybe a lot of people don't know that.
I know because that's what I was saying. Black people don't pay attention to black people. They don't care unless Netflix or freaking Fox or Stars tell you to start looking at Zeus Network. You don't care. Disney tell you Disney Plus. You everybody know Disney
No,
Plus is
I
out.
I feel like if it was more promotion amongst the high, the like the Jay Z's, the Drakes, the Beyonces, like if people like that, Nicki Minaj's, if all of them was promoting it or talking about it, I think everybody would know about it. But we don't
Look at what's
support each
crazy.
other amongst each other. So
Exactly, because Diddy too busy wanting you to sign up for Revolt. You know, I mean, 50 Cent got it smart. He like that's why he's the top dog because he's with Stars. He's not on his own network. He's not even trying to get his own network. I want to play on ABC and I want to play on Stars. And now look at him. Even Tyler Perry, although he did his route the way he did his route and made a lot of money, if Tyler Perry was, I mean, he went to Oprah's network. Eventually, he got with a network. And if anybody like to tell me Harpo, yeah, it's ran by Oprah, but we all know that that's backed by the fact that she was on that daytime TV show. You know what I'm saying? But
but even
as
still, it's still, let's not discredit it for being
oh, I
what
can't
was
discredit
offered
her.
out here.
I won't
Well,
discredit her.
that
Yeah, she got her own
I
thing.
I love OWN, in the show. Well, I used to watch it a lot, not so much now, but that was a big thing. Oh, Oprah's network, like
Yeah,
yeah, I'm here for it.
but you see, Oprah Winfrey was in trouble. You see, trouble with her network. That's why she had to bring in Tyler. She was like billions of dollars in the red. Like
Mm,
that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like so that's why Tyler Perry had to come on and save the day for her. And it
I
was like,
believe
look,
it.
I'll give her some money. Yeah, because there's
Profitable.
nobody that those are not the supporter jokes. You don't see people like, hey, I'm looking at this show on. You know, make sure y'all watch your own tonight. We on,
Um, there was
but we all talk about power. We all talk about power on stars and all that good stuff.
Well,
You know,
right now he said he's going on a 6 month hiatus as far as the shows. And Raising Canaan will not be dropping when it's supposed to. And he's been having, I don't know if he does it just for, shock value or just for, to raise, I guess, the attention. But I think 50 Cent should start his own network. I mean, just think about all the shows he has. And
yeah.
working with
Who you gonna?
other people, he could be as big as Star. He could do the same thing that Oprah did.
Oh, 50 Cent, I believe so.
I
I
think he
believe that
should.
50 Cent is a blessed, one of those blessed talents that you rarely see. That's like no matter what he does, he can excel in it if he really wants to. Like he could probably write a book and it'd be a
Yeah.
bestseller. You know, so that's just one real good black dude that I do believe that will get a lot of black support and will still get white support as well. But again, he's played in their game.
Mm. Speaking of playing in their game, I missed you last week. However, Leah Thomas
Yes.
Won the what was it? The NCAA swimming
Yes,
title,
Lord.
women's.
Number one. Number one.
Yeah, and
With a penis. Number one with a penis. Number
she
one
got
woman's.
she actually got booed, which I don't feel was nice of the
It was
young lady to
disrespectful.
do to
It was
her.
disgusting for them
Um,
to boo her.
yeah, very. They should have allowed her to just, you know,
Yeah.
exist.
Yeah.
Now, unfair, unfair. A lot of women, I watched one interview, this one lady, she was livid. She was like, it's just not fair. And they
Yeah.
were saying that the NCAA is not doing enough, to ensure that these games are fair.
Yeah. What can they do more? I want to know. I want somebody to tell me what can the NCAA do to ensure that it's fair? Because I suggested an idea, and I'm waiting for that idea to hit, and maybe, just maybe, they can break me off some dividends of them coins. Because I am proposing that the NCAA and all sports start a transgender division.
But that's exclusion.
No, it's not. So this is I don't know if you guys can see this, but I'm gonna hold this up here because I had this on our things to talk about last week for sure. This is Leah
Bring it down. So
Thomas.
I seen that picture. Compared to everyone else, she looks huge. You froze.
I froze up as I was showing that. Y'all see how the world do me. But it said that William Thomas was ranked 462nd as a man swimmer in NCAA. However, switched over to women's NCAA swimming and became number one as Leah Thomas, formerly known as William Thomas. And I said to myself, well, there you have it. Let me tell y'all a story. And y'all know I love story time. Jezebel, we got time.
We
When I was
definitely
in
got
high
time.
school, my 11th grade year, we played football. And we was in summer tryouts, and this girl came out and said, I want to play football. Well, immediately my coach told her, young lady, you have to go play volleyball. And she was livid. She was livid. She tried out, went home and got her dad, right? Her dad comes back up to the school, kirks on the principal, the sports administrator, and then eventually comes down to the coaches. Everyone has an earful. So much that before the end of practice, his daughter had a helmet, his daughter had pads, and his daughter was on the practice field with the guys.
Mm,
Now, me personally, I knew this wasn't right. I didn't want to have this girl on our team, but if she was good, maybe, just maybe, we could find a place for her. This girl was trash. Got hurt the first day. Didn't even make it the first hour in practice before she was complaining and crying, telling her daddy to come pick her up. She didn't want to wear the helmet anymore. She was getting so punished up there. She wanted to be tackling. She couldn't tackle nobody. Everyone was just trucking her and running her over. And she just was not supposed to be on the football field at all. She went to volleyball the very next day. Now I'm looking at Mr. William Thomas and I'm thinking to myself, he was 462 with the men. He was realizing he couldn't cut it. And then there was rules that went along where they was saying that, hey, we can no longer alienate these people. It's what they identify as and not what they were born as. So now that opened up a whole realm of things because what people don't know is he's not the first NCAA transgender to play in a cross sport. He's just the first to win at this rate. No one seems to care about that female defensive back who plays in college over there in Methodist Division One football. Defensive back, she's killing it. No one seems to talk about her though. Why? Simply because she's not creating a winning franchise, and the reason that they're winning. But Miss Leah Thomas here changes the narrative because it's women's rights that everyone was really fighting for, not men's rights. Because men are always the species that they believe should be able to take themselves care of themselves. Lord knows if he was black though, that would be a spicier story.
I didn't
A lot
even
of people
know
say
about
he.
the football player
Oh
incident.
yes, oh yes. This is not the first time. This is just the first time that the winning has been so far. And the people that were making the comments like he has a penis, he shouldn't be allowed to compete. Well, so does Caitlyn Jenner, who won Woman of the Year.
They not fucking with you today, Six. You better leave the
Out of the
community alone.
magazine, she won it nonetheless. No, listen, I love the community as a equal people. You see what I'm saying? I don't think
Mhm.
that Leah Thomas was wrong for going out there as his or her true self and becoming a winner. I'm wondering where all the women that were saying we are all can do the same things, why haven't they stepped up? Where are those strong, powerful women that said anything you can do, we can do too, men? Where are those strong women that wanted to be construction workers and firefighters? Why have none of those stepped up and said, you can't take this credit from Leah? There's also a young track star in California right now who had dreams of going number one and being recruited into college or getting a full scholarship. Well, she said that the college that she wanted to go to told her that she had to be number one to get a full ride scholarship. This girl is currently sitting at number two and has been for the last season. Why is this girl sitting at number two? Well, not because she can't beat every girl, but because there's a guy that identifies as a woman running against her and he wants to be her number one.
Mm, damn. Every time the story gets interesting, right? Like, soon as we get into the topic, like, where's up with you two? I was, I was so indulged. Damn. Six. Where's the rest of the story? Mm. Took that girl damn scholarship. Hold on, y'all. Y'all so silly.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, you know I did it. So that means that we got on their nerves. That means that I struck a nerve. When YouTube kicks me, I know I'm talking crazy. I know I'm talking crazy when
Can
YouTube
you
kicks me.
just finish the part that she's been number two for the past
Yeah,
two
she's been
seasons
number
and
two
she
for the
can't get her
past season,
scholarship.
and she can't get a scholarship because not that she can't beat every woman or young girl that she goes against, but because now there's a transgender boy entered into her league, and now she can't win. Well, why I say that we need a transgender division in all sports is simply this. There was always men's sports, there was always women's sports, and that reason was because the obvious separation in power and strength. Well, that strength is and separation is still obvious when you talk about a transgender man or transgender woman competing against a man and a woman. So, how can we not give this a shot of them having their own division where we could take out this comment this whole conversation of it's not fair because it's not fair to them to have to compete against men when they don't identify as men. And and now that this new whole identity thing is happening, this is new, people, right? Self identity is new. I mean, this is groundbreaking. Like where people get to say and look like a boy, but say I feel like a woman, I identify as a woman. That's groundbreaking. So we're still on this. But hear me out here, right? If we get this division, we could be ahead of the curve that's yet to come anyway. It's a time now where obviously sports is really dominant in a lot of people's lives, and we're already addressing that there's a lot of things that we can't do. But this division could be big and huge for a lot of people that wanted to do things and don't feel or know where they belong, or don't fit in on the team. I mean, is there any reason why William Thomas should ever go back to being the worst male when he's the best woman?
mm,
Should we be telling him that, or her? I don't think so. And if there was a woman that was a transgender male that was going to take over the men's divisions and things like that, it should be the same, right? But that just hasn't happened. It just hasn't happened. Remember in the Olympics, there was the Olympics weightlifter champion was a transgender female.
oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she won the gold as a man, transgender female won the gold. So let's we're in a new world where we have to start thinking about this. And I like this show on March the 28th, 2022, to be remembered and recorded and documented that we said it here first. I also put it on my Twitter and other pages that I was the inventor and the ideologist of the transgender league. Now, I don't watch WNBA. I don't watch lingerie football. I won't be watching the transgender league. But what I am saying is they deserve it. They deserve it.
Mm,
It's fair for everybody. It's fair for everybody. What do you think, Jezebel?
I don't
Sorry,
know.
Tanya Cash.
Me personally, I just feel like it's unfair. But then when you told me about the woman that's killing it in football, I'm like, okay, well, I can't be okay with that, and then not okay with Leah Thomas. Like, um, is so
I'm gonna get her name for you so we can have her exact name.
I don't play sports. The only sport I ever played was cheerleading. So I don't know how I would feel.
What sport you play?
Cheerleading. Um, so me personally, I don't know what it would feel like. I mean, if we were going against a group of guys and they guys that wanted to be women and we lost, I probably would be upset.
Actually, you know what? Let me give y'all this. Let me give y'all this list real quick, right? Because there's a list of women who are actually playing professional men's sports. Some Canadian football. Um, there's also one playing semi-pro football. We have a lot of them playing in the college sports right now. But we have some place kickers, which I really don't want to. I don't want to give place kickers a place like that, right? Because that's not really that it. I'm talking about the young lady who plays defensive back, though. She's actually a real good story, and she's black, so that's pretty cool. Brittany Jacobs, that's her name, and y'all can go check her out. You know what I'm saying? Brittany Jacobs, so she's pretty dope. She plays, and yeah. Now they're doing a lot of things for women, though. We can't just keep on making these women out to be weak and un, unable to perform and stuff like that. And we can't give them excuses either. So yes, they lost to Leah Thomas, and I for one thought that was one of the most amazing things that I had ever seen. Um, Speaking of crazy and amazing things, let me tell you this one story that I had here, and I'm gonna tell you one thing for sure. Lil Durkio. Interesting
Oh,
things. My man's album, first solo album to go #1 on the billboards. But that's not the most amazing thing. Music is so great right now, y'all. Cardi B, every album, every single on her album to go platinum. First female artist to
mhm,
do that. But really, the only artist to do that. I don't think there's any other artist that has went platinum on their album for every song. I mean, I'm sure somebody's gonna say Drake did it or whatever the case may be, but Cardi B is that. Now, speaking of these award shows, did you hear about Jay Prince trying to like have his own performance nights and stuff like that?
mhm.
And that's what y'all was referring to.
His rival shows,
Yeah, I tell
as
you
he
what.
should, as he should.
Yeah, he should. He should. He
And all
should.
of these winners that go to these other award shows should show up there too. I'm not saying that they should boycott the Grammys or the Oscars and go to, Jay Prince show, but it would be nice if you showed up both places.
Yeah. So I got an interesting list today, right? Well, I
Mhm.
got it last week, but I wanted to share it on today's show. There was the top 23 rappers. Do you know whose name is on most of the top rappers list? Who is the number one most liked rapper, or people's favorite rapper?
Male or female,
Male,
straight.
the Notorious B.I.G. Out of all the top 23 rappers in the world, his name appeared on all but three of those rappers' list as the top their favorite rapper.
Tupac not up there?
Tupac is on most of their lists except for, like five. He's not on five of their list. Most of them have Biggie. A lot of these rappers of all time are from the East Coast,
Hmm.
so they all got Biggie
Sounds
Smalls as their
sounds about
top
right.
rapper. Yeah. Now you got some Spotify questions, don't you?
Before we get to that, let's talk about the Rappers Union. So, how do you guys
Mm,
feel about the Rappers Union? I know we've talked about this before, but you're not going to be rapping forever,
that's
are you?
the
I mean,
Rappers Union sounds amazing. I want to rap forever. Why can't we rap forever when rock stars get to rock out forever?
you can rap
Ozzy
forever.
Osbourne's Ozzy Osbourne's still biting off bats' heads today.
I mean, you could rap forever, but however, don't you? Let's say you fall off, or you're
Yes,
having hard times and you just don't feel like getting in the studio, and maybe you suffer from some mental illness issues, or maybe
yes,
you start having substance abuse issues. Or
true,
maybe you get into some trouble and you're not as active as you were before in your music career and you need legal assistance.
true, true, true.
So Big Crit has reintroduced the idea of a rappers union. The meaning is
Mm,
somewhere where artists, rappers can have resources. This is for, like I said, law, health, um, investment, like teaching artists about investment, how to invest their money before they go broke. Um, just different resources that artists can have. Also, a fund to help artists when they're in really, really needy times. How do you guys feel about that?
I love that idea. I mean, it sounds similar to what some of the that we do have unions set up. I want to let people know that there are two unions in music. But what's interesting about this question is it's specifically for rappers. Now, I know that things get a little tricky because when rappers want to start stuff, it kind of always feels alienation. Because it's like, wait a minute, who's going to be able to get in this? Will indie rappers be able to get in this along with mainstream rappers? Will it be budget based? Will I still be able to get the same benefits as a person who could put in $1 million as opposed to a person that could put in $100? Um, what, when, how, where, who will be the representatives? But that would be dope because like jobs have unions where you can't be fired and shit like that. And you pay like
Well,
$25 a month or something like that to be in the
I,
union.
I think, yeah. So basically, you would have had to. It has to be guidelines. Like you would have had to at least had a hit number one album on Billboard or all charts, and then like you sold X amount of albums in a lifetime. Once you hit
Right.
this certain amount of albums sold, you're eligible to be in the union. I think that's pretty much how it might go. I'm not sure, all those details have yet to come out, but I'm definitely keeping an eye out. And as far as separating it from, let's say, indie artists or other artists, I think there should be one for both. Maybe if you, because as an up and coming indie artist, you might not sell as much as someone else.
Right.
So it could be a smaller fund for them. I just think it's a great idea.
So And also, some of y'all that want to look into some joints, you got the American Federation of Musicians,
Hmm.
and you got the AFTRA. That's the American Federation of Television and Radio for Artists. So y'all know, like, look into these things. AFTRA is like, I think, like $3,000 to join. I don't know what the AFM is. What the AFM is charges, but the AFTRA they charge like $3,000. You get with these organizations, and they pretty much just make sure you constantly getting paid for your works and stuff like that. And of course, they're trying to improve working conditions. So that would be dope for rappers to have some type of spokespeople for them, especially like rappers like Bobby Shmurda, who was able to get out of his record deal from Epic after a bunch of complaints and rants. They let him out of his deal. Now, a lot of people, before I go into my position, and Jezebel, do you think that was a good or bad thing for Bobby Shmurda?
I think that was a great thing. He's been kind of stagnant since he's come out anyway. So I
Hmm.
feel like maybe this will be another new beginning for him. Ecstatic that he's out of jail. I like how he's moving right now. Like
Yeah.
I think he's doing a great job. And hopefully, like we'll get some music for
Well, like,
one.
what's crazy is this. There is speculation that he will be possibly going back with Def Jam. I don't believe that him getting let out of his deal under them circumstances is going to be good for Bobby. I do understand that we're in this indie world and everyone feels like, hey, I can do it all by myself. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all honest one thing. If you just want to make money and get hella rich, yes. Yes. Based on what we're talking about today and how things have been, screw the Grammys and screw awards, yeah. Then if you want to be indie, great. But Bobby Schmurder, he already has his money, notoriety, so whatever he does will be great. But I give him 2 months before we start seeing new deals on the table. And if he goes indie and stays indie, I hate to be the one to say this, and I'll bite my words next year if this is not true, but he'll be done in 2, 3 years.
And what do you mean done? He's all. I feel like for him, he's probably at a point like he just did what 6, 7 years in jail. He's
Right.
at a point now where his vision is probably different from where it was before. He might
Correct.
want to be the hottest rapper or at the award shows or all over the billboards. His name already rings bells. So for
Right.
him, it's just really the most. His fans are going to look out for his music. They're going to look. They're going to listen. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
let's just say a lot of black people listen to Bobby, but a lot of white people love Bobby.
Did you
So
did you know Mr. Cheeks got a new record out?
no, it was never really.
That's what happens with rappers who walk away from deals and try to stay indie after a bad deal.
Well, I mean, I did know Sammy dropped some music. What was it last year? Recently, nobody's really checking Sammy.
Yeah.
Vivian Green, what was it? 2018. She dropped a new song. Nobody's really, what I'm saying. It depends on who you listen to. If you're a fan of
Right.
somebody and they drop some music, like if Bobby Schmurda, I guess, dropped some music, I'm sure I might not know the day of, but within that week, it's gonna come across my feed. So
Let me tell y'all why Bobby Smurder gonna have a harsh reality, a real
why?
harsh reality. 7 years ago, when Bobby Smurder was hot, his fans were what, 22, 21, 19. 7 years later, they're 26, 27 years old.
Mhm.
He does know that the stuff that he's dropped recently has not catered to a new fan base. He hasn't gave us a new hit yet to get a new fan base. So that means he's still banking on a 28, 30-year old fan base. Um, and he's in New York. He's a New York artist that makes kind of like trap drill music. But
All
now
he
he's trying.
needs is a
Now
feature
he's
Fivio, and that's it. He back. He back. He
nah,
back.
50 not that strong. 50 is not that strong.
And look. to get his name back ringing. That's it. And then from there, boom, Nick, boom, he back in there.
See,
That's
the thing
it.
about it is,
Done deal.
what's already hurting him is his antics. What since he's been home that twerking and whatnot he's doing is already
Dancing is
losing.
no, 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 no. It's actually like, damn, he's human. A lot of people are starting to realize that, you know, we're people are human beings.
Throw it
Like
away. Throw it
me
away. Throw that
personally,
damn shit away.
when I see him dancing, and even when he was on $1 million worth of game and he fell over the couch and his little legs was like, I mean, I was just like, anybody else would be embarrassed. Anybody else would be, they're trying to put on a front for people, like he's himself.
Yeah,
And his
yeah.
fans are gonna love that. Your fans don't want a fake story. We want to see who you are. We want to see the real you. We want to know that
Too.
you're human.
It's just too bad though. It's just too bad that he needs the label to gain new fans. He needs new fans to get relevant because your old fans don't buy. I'm just saying, 27, 28 year olds and up do not buy.
I feel like a couple of features from some hot new artists and a distribution deal, he'll be fine. And it all depends on what he wants, though. We also don't know, and that's why it's important. You artists got to know what you want. What he might
Well,
want
that's
for
true.
himself is different for what we might want for him. So
Facts. But
that's
I mean, like every artist, man. I know y'all not aspiring for Grammys and stuff like that, but if y'all not aspiring for those things, then that's why you're not getting nothing. The Grammy is the height, right? So if you aim for the Grammys, you can't do nothing but hit everything in between. And I mean, like honestly, like if you already coming in yourself as an artist, selling yourself short, like I'm just gonna make some money. I'm good. All right. That's cool. That's cool.
but that's what happens when people don't want to sell their souls and like really like they don't want to like some people have morals and they stick to it. Some
But
people
like,
are
what
really
does really
grounded
selling your
on the
soul mean?
inside.
What
I
does
mean,
that mean?
you know, some like I said, some people are really grounded, and those things don't matter to them as much as it would to the next person who's aiming to get there.
I'm gonna tell all y'all rappers something. Y'all gonna hate Cynical Six this year, but the minute you start rapping for self glorification, right? You already sold your soul. If you ain't talking gospel music and singing gospels to the heavens and for God, you already sold your soul. The minute you get on that joint, start talking me, for the greater of us, you already done sold your soul. If that's how you gone, okay? The soul selling is not to the buyer that buys it. I could sell a bunch of old cars and I've sold cars.
Mm,
It may not make me a car salesman for dog cars, but I've sold cars.
mm,
So it doesn't matter. The minute that you do something, even if you freelance it, if you got that joint and you start cutting your grass and you start working in your yard, every day someone's gonna call you a gardener. You may not be paid to be a gardener. You may not be a paid gardener, but you're a gardener nonetheless. So like you can't say I don't want to sell my soul, but I want to do everything they do. I want to be a part of it, but I don't want to do it though. I don't want to sell my soul, but it sure looks great with all those people that sold their soul are doing. They look like they're having a great time. Let me do it too, but I'm not gonna sell my soul part.
mm. I mean,
Hello.
there's a lot
You're
of
you're
people that
you're playing in you're playing in if all of us are standing outside and we're all holding guns and we all shoot at a building, they're not gonna come to us to try to figure out who shot which gun it was, and they're gonna take us all down. They're gonna look at us all, say you all got a gun in your hand, you all are shooting, somebody hit the building, whatever. So come on, people, you can't do the things and not try to play the whole game.
pow 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 gunshots gunshots gunshots. Let's talk
I
about
tell people like,
you
don't.
said You said something about shooting something down. And I
Yeah.
have a question for you. Why do you think so many rappers are dying and getting killed right now or killing each other?
A,
What's your perspective of why this is happening?
my perspective on this is so like there's no value in life anymore, right? And I think that a lot of these young rappers look at older people as that's what I have to live for. That's where I can go. So it's like I'm spiritual as hell, right? So it's like I always say God doesn't take you away until your job is done here, right? And it's like people's purposes seem to be fulfilling their purposes faster and faster these days. Could you imagine? It's like old people used to say that bucket list. You
Yeah, I
know,
have one.
yes, it's like before I die, I wanna buy a Ferrari. I wanna have $1 million in my bank. And I think that we speak a lot of things into our lives, right? And unfortunately, a lot of these rappers, a lot of these youngins don't see themselves living past a certain age. And they put in their mind, if I reach this, I'll be good. That's all I need in life. All I need is this, right? So when you look at some of these artists that say to themselves, I just want to be the most famous in my hood. I just want to be the most known in my hood. I want to be the big dog around here. And they reach that and they get stuck there. Well, really, they're telling their psychological universe, I've done everything that I want to do in this world. I have nothing else to accomplish. And when we put that energy out there, like we don't have nothing else that we want in life, nothing else to go after, nothing else to be accomplished. It's like I've sold records, big deal. I've done shows, big deal. I'm the man in my hood, big deal. Well, like, don't you want to take care of your family? I got money, bro. Well, don't you want to like get your hood, get this, do that? Nah, I'm good, bro. And they still on the hood, they still on the block, they're still active. Because in their mind is I don't want to be perceived as changing. Someone told me I'm too Hollywood.
Who's too Hollywood? Them or you?
Me.
Success?
Success has gotten too Hollywood. That's why I didn't wear any jewelry today, guys. I said I'm coming on here regular,
Are you
regular,
serious?
regular, degular. I'm
What's
dead
wrong with being
serious.
Hollywood?
Oh, listen, I ask myself this every day. I said, first, thank you. But secondly, how am I acting Hollywood? Because I want to live? Because I don't choose physical beef, personal altercations. A lot of people say you think business all the time when there's personal stuff involved, there's people's feelings involved. And if you think that I'm insensitive to people's feelings, then you're not listening to me at all, or you're just hearing what you want to hear.
Let me tell you something I told myself today. I woke up today and I was like, you know what? You can't take anything personal.
Yeah.
Nothing. No, like you're in business right now. Like all that personal stuff, like you just gotta ignore it. You can't take anything, especially in business. You can't take anything personal. You just
Yeah.
gotta move accordingly. Now, as far as in everyday life, I mean, I still feel like you shouldn't take things personally because sometimes it's outside of you. Like it's outside of you. Ain't got nothing to do with you.
Right.
You know,
I mean, it's sad because
control your
unless you choose to work for a company, right? I mean, obviously, if I go here, and I always use Walmart, but if I go and work at Walmart when I'm off the clock, then that's my regular life, right? But I'm an entrepreneur. Somebody said to me, I thought you was just a rapper today. I was playing my 2K. He said, I thought you was just a rapper, bro. I said, no. I'm a podcast host. I host on the radio. I'm a publishing administrator. I have run my own publishing company. I music market. I digital market. I also manage other artists. I'm not just no one trick pony. So when people ask personal time, I always
I
ask,
ain't got
what is that?
none. I ain't got
I mean,
none.
I'm sitting there
I hate
playing.
that.
I'm on my 2K. And my guys like they're in my ear like, bro, you gotta move. And I'm like, sorry, text messages. Y'all just, run around me. I have text messages. I gotta answer these. I gotta do this. I gotta make this phone call. I gotta take this. I'm still here though, but I'm not physically there. I'm just hanging with my woes, you know? But I'm like, let's just be real here. It's always business time. And I get artists all the time ask me personal questions like, what do you think about, or how would you feel if? And I always give them the business answers because at the end of the day, you can't get anywhere thinking personally all the time. And honestly, there is no place to think personally when you have to work all the time 24/7.
Right.
I mean, that moment that you thinking that, I mean, just like a person calling me Hollywood is automatically someone in their personal feelings.
Mhm.
When in the whole time, if you really research that person that called me Hollywood, they probably have nothing going on, no business going on, which is why they can assume that I'm Hollywood because what they see in Hollywood is people busy, right? They assume, oh, he Hollywood, he can't answer the phone, or he can't talk. I tell people like this: look, I may can't talk to you because I'm on a conference call, or I may be in a meeting, or I may be on a plane, I may be in the woods, I may be in a building somewhere, I may be in the studio, but you could always text me. I'll respond. I'm like, so I get it. We don't have the same drives. We don't have the same goals, but people are too quick to put their final manifestations on the noun. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you ever heard somebody say, oh, I need $1 million and I'll be good.
I mean, I say that all the time. Oh,
Yeah,
I need a billion. I
let
need
me see
about.
if I still got this picture. I sent a friend a picture because he was like, all he needs is $1 million and he'll be good. And I took a picture of a guy sitting beside $2 million. And when so you see these right here, these are the this is the stack of a million, and that is a stack of a million. This is a
Mhm.
guy sitting beside $2 million,
Mhm.
like nothing. That means that that's all that is. It's two little blocks, two little squares,
Mhm.
and you say all you need is that, and you good. Well, what happens when you actually get $2 million?
You. I mean, I know for me, every time I say all I need is this, then I get that, and it's like, damn. Now I got something. I set a goal for something. Now I got
But
another fucking goal to
imagine
achieve.
these hood dudes, like a lot of these hood rappers, like a lot of these hood rappers that we look up to, that we love, they get that man, they don't even think that high. They just want 100 G's. You see what I'm saying? And I mean, like, I know I heard Young Dog talk a lot about 100 M's. He just want to make 100 million. Uh, he get 100 million. That's all he need, 100 million. 100 million this, 100 million that. I don't know how much the man made, but I'm pretty sure that it was 100 million. I'm pretty confident it was 100 million. Because at the end of the day, we put out in the universe where we at, where we good for. So I do believe that a lot of these rappers got to start understanding the power of the tongue in your music, and also the situations that you bring into your life to make your music. There's a lot of artists that get into beefs or get into altercations for the love of the music, or for the love of a hood, or for the love of the gang, or for the love of the set. Now again, let me make sure I reiterate: I would never disrespect anybody's gangs or anybody's sets or anybody's hoods. But what I do want y'all to understand something is that when you 30, these things don't seem as important anymore. If they still do, then something's wrong.
Yeah.
And by God, when you get my age, which I'll never share, nothing matters anymore. Like, really, guys, I wake up in the morning, nothing matters. I'm just happy it's another day to be great, another day to do something epic, another day to change someone's life, whether it be for good, bad, or indifferent. It's another day to be active. I wake up now on Mondays, y'all, and Mondays is the longest day of the week for me.
Mhm.
The longest day of the week. But all I do is say to myself every Monday, I want to make sure I touch at least 10 people. I want to make 10 people feel good, feel validated, understand their purpose, understand their growth, and understand that they can have anything they put their mind to. A lot of people are not sharing that their blessings. Bro, it's crazy because they all I believe all rappers want to do God's work. But y'all understand this. To some people, their idea of God is only the 12 disciples segment. If you know what I'm saying, like God had all these people following him. God had all these, that's their only ideas of it. And they feel like it's up to me to save my hood. Honestly, I believe all rappers that come into the game with the mentality to put on their people, put on their hood, put on their set, that's doing God's work. But the same way God was crucified, it happens. Because unfortunately, no one wants you to be bigger than them. And in today's world where they glorify the killer as well now, I mean, really? I mean, like, they glorify the killer with abundance. I mean, like, the way that this world glorifies the killer, I have contemplated catching a few bodies.
Me too.
You just sit there and you just be like, look what I did, y'all. I caught a body last week ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck it. Give me some time. Y'all gonna still love me. Like, I mean, come on, man. Where's the people that wanna be like, ah, let's lock it down, let's get ourselves together, and let's think rational as opposed to always constantly 110% thinking the opposite way and going at the people. Everybody asks me why do I troll on Facebook, and I say why when I don't troll. I'm not trolling. I'm asking you a question that you're afraid to answer. I'm thinking about it from another level. So, listen, when you hang around thousandaires, right? First of all, let's break this scale down. When you hang around broke people, you think
Yeah.
like broke people.
Yep.
It's like y'all trying to rob a bank. Shit, fuck yeah, let's rob a bank. You know,
It's classism. I was just talking about that the other day. I was like, man, I'm about to stop being humble. It's certain shit I just can't
look, let me
be
tell you something.
around.
I would used to wear a shoe for 2 or 3 years straight. One shoe.
Oh no. Why?
Oh, listen, you and the world let me know that that was a crap.
I mean, okay. So this is my reason for feeling like people should have different pairs of shoes. I just feel like with one pair of shoes, like every day your feet sweat in that one shoe. Like I don't care how many times you change your socks. Eventually you're gonna wear that shoe out and it's just
Well, honestly, it's classism though, right? Because people, first thing they look at is your shoe. Your shoe determines what type of car they think you have. Your car determines what they think you can handle. Your house determines how they think you can be brought up around, what they think you can come around. Your girl and your wife determines if I can bring you around my family and my situations. So y'all have to understand, like all these things that you choose in life is classing us, right? It's putting us in a class. Me choosing to wear this red hat is saying something to somebody. Everything is class, sism, or labeling us and putting us in our places,
I
which
mean,
which gets which gets ironic when you start thinking about it. Oh, I've been wearing the same shoe. People think you a hood dude. People gonna think you this dude don't even care about his shoes.
I mean,
So these new rappers,
especially if you can afford to have, if you can afford to have one more than one. Now,
well, the
if
problem
you
is the
grinding
thing
and
about it
you
is if
just
you doing all this, if you doing all this work, at the end of the day, if you a hustler and you got one pair of shoes, even that's a problem, right? Because they're like, Dad, you ain't getting no money to buy no shoes. Can't believe you. You ain't getting no work off. You ain't getting no work off. I might buy a KD from you, but I don't trust you to give me a zip. You might try and give me some dirt.
yep.
Look at the shoes. The fresh weed man, you see that weed man, you be like, woohoo, I know you got some fire, boy.
What? And he be
I
having
know you.
flavors.
Gas, flavors, and the colorful bags. All the bags be colorful as hell. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So you know what you get it. You go to that dude with the same shoes on every day, you get some huff maybe. You getting some huff. It is what it is.
Mhm.
You know, like I'm not gonna sit up here and sugarcoat it. But that's why artists very much so now more than ever because we're glorifying the killer and we're profiting off the deaths.
Well, the reason I asked you why you think first I'm gonna give my I asked you why you think the rappers are dying, and then I'm gonna give you my perspective. So I just feel like people, like you said, people don't really have much to live for. Like they don't value their lives. They don't really. They just feel like this is just it. Like they don't have any motivation to continue. But I came across a post the other day, and of course, I love to speak about Master P because I just feel like he's very motivational for people, not even just artists, but entrepreneurs in general. And I
Right,
want people to just take Master P for instance. And all of his children aren't perfect, but just look at his son,
right.
okay? And let's just look at what they're doing. They could change at any moment, right? But he enforces something in his children that you can see from right now. We can see from the outside. We don't know what's going on the inside, but they look motivated. They look like they
Hmm.
want to be something. They want to do something in life. Just to say that. So when I think about rappers killing each other, or just putting themselves in situations where it just seems like they don't value their lives, I think about no guidance. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
I always think things start from the household.
Yes.
Um, so Master P basically shared why he feels that a lot of rappers are just killing each other and just dying. And some of the things he said is he said, like I said, there is no leadership. He said the right leadership or the right older people around us to tell us that we was wrong. Now I don't know about your parents, but I know my parents were my friends. Were your parents your friends?
No, but they whip my ass though.
Yeah. So basically, what he's saying is nowadays the parents want to be your friend instead of
Hmm.
correcting you and reprimanding you or telling you, no, you're going to do this. Like this
Yep.
is how you're going to do things.
Yep.
Um, there's the parents don't do that nowadays. So he was just saying when he was said quote he said even the parents end up being friends. One thing I love about my parents and my grandparents, they were never my friends. When I went to
Right.
them, I know that I got the real. I think as people, I think that people as parents, if you get a young person that's in hip hop or just in general in life, stop trying to cheat the game. Stop trying to just have fun with your kids. I think that's the only way we're going to save the culture. Because, like I said, everybody is not going to overcome all of this adversity. Because I got friends that died, I know you probably had it too. And he just went on and just would talk about more. But,
He
I
right.
put up a post the other day, and somebody was like, "You're gonna make a lot of people mad." But I was just talking about it was a young guy in my complex. He was like 20 something years old, living at home with his mom, and he ended up killing him. I don't know
What?
why. I don't know what happened. All I know is that this happened in my apartment complex. And
Right.
I was just, it just rubbed me the wrong way. The first thing that rubbed me the wrong way was one, I feel like you're too old to be living at home to have that much of a problem with your parent that you killed them.
Right.
Like that was the first thing that caught my attention right there. Then the second thing was, what could your parent do so bad that you would kill them?
Man,
Now
I, I watch too much Netflix. I watch too much Netflix, huh?
everybody has their reasons, money, this, that. But I
I don't
feel
know.
like when you're under your parents' roof and you're a grown ass person, woman or man, you have the option to move the hell out. There's no reason why you should be in your parents' house killing them. Like I just don't, like
Yeah, like
I
I
can't
used
even
to,
see the self defense there.
I 100% agree, right? But now I'm so like I watch too.
Much
Listen,
now.
the last 3 weeks, wife has been in training and doing movies and stuff like that, right?
Mhm.
We done like some TV shows, some movies, and things like that. And I can't tell y'all that, but we doing a lot of work, right? So in that time, I've been privy to watch, just be sitting down watching TV or movies and stuff like that, reference stuff. And what I'm learning is this stuff that these people are referencing is what's been put to us every day. That's like, damn, this movie stuff. But this stuff is really happening, right? And the problem is, like I said, the killers are being glorified too much that they're not even being questioned onto why they're really killing in the first place or to what's really going on. We don't know what's going on in that man household. That's what the problem is in our communities. There's not enough people reaching out. Everyone is about me, 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 self, self, self. Behind these walls, if it ain't in this house, it don't matter. If they ain't with us, they're against us. That's the mentality that we adopt. There could be so much going on in that house that we don't know about.
I mean, but even still, I just feel like, I mean, I don't know. You can try to raise your kids perfectly. I don't have children, so I don't know. There's no
Like I
guarantee
was in the
that your
like
children won't kill you, but
like
like,
parents, especially from the '80s, parents from the '80s and parents from the '90s messed their kids up, right? I mean, you think about the parents was messing up their kids' credit. Parents was putting electric bills, cable bills, phone bills in their kids' names. You know what I'm saying? Chasing dads in and out the house and men in and out the place and women in and out the place. Fathers kicked out, told we was told they wasn't shit, didn't care, didn't want to be around us. So I mean, like these are the images. So nowadays, y'all gotta realize I don't blame these parents in today's world because these parents were the 16-year-olds, the 17-year-olds who was always in the house watching their little brothers and sisters, so they felt like they could be a parent too. Sneaking the boyfriends in the house or the girlfriends in the house because the mom got to work two jobs because there's no dad around. So these are not these parents are friends with their kids because hell, they are their age groups. You see what I'm saying? Like right now, I'm still a clubber. My oldest son can get into the club with me. You see what I'm saying? I can literally have a drink and slide him one, and no one is against the law. So when we start thinking about these things, like, no, I don't expect my son to be like, Dad, fuck this, fuck that, Dad. But he's 21. I
that's
was
the
young when
key
I had him
word
too.
here of age. Like it's even I'm thinking he's talking about raising as you're raising your kids, like as instead of correcting them,
Yeah,
being the
Master P
first
is a
to correct
traditional
them.
Master P is a traditional dad from a traditional era, right? Cause see, Romeo and them would be in my age group as far as peers. So he would be from that era, you know what I'm saying, like before. But he is an active father. Active fathers are way different than what we see, like what we're talking about. These these are not and that's why he can say that. Like, yes, you're 100% correct, Master P. Active fathers in the lifestyle in the household is going to change everything. That's why you get the difference between Romeo and Bow Wow. I mean, you that's why you don't see videos of Romeo beating on women, but you hear about this stuff with Bow Wow.
Now you say active father.
Hmm.
And this topic comes up a lot. I was just talking to somebody about it the other day, and we was kind of going back and forth because I don't know if
Thanks, Tony.
is it pro life or I'm pro abortion,
Whoa.
and
You mean that means that you're for abortions that to happen?
yeah,
You,
yeah,
yeah.
I'm for it. I'm for it. And I was talking to somebody the other day, and basically my whole perspective is women have so many opportunities to, correct. Like if a guy slip up, because everybody's thing is, oh well, he knew when he nutted in her that they was gonna have a
I
baby,
hate
and
that. Go
he should have
upstairs.
been
Go
more
upstairs.
careful, and he should have been more careful and he shouldn't have made that mistake. And I tell people, I said, we're all human. Okay. We all make mistakes. So when we make a mistake, a woman has time to correct that
Yeah.
mistake before, the ultimate happens. Now,
Yes.
if a woman decides not to correct that mistake and she goes on to give birth or whatever the case may be, she cannot force that person that told you in the beginning that they didn't want to be there or give them financial responsibility over a choice that you made. Like
Hmm.
I don't and then this is the worst. The women go on to have these children, and trust me, I have friends that had children by married men, friends that had children with men that had girlfriends, friends that had children with men that they knew weren't shit. Like, so I'm speaking from an outside perspective, but firsthand though. So you
Yeah.
have these women that get pregnant. The man basically initially, like, I'll give you the money for the no, I don't want to have abortion. I'm keeping my baby.
I hate them. I'm keeping my baby. I love my baby.
They
Hmm.
go on and have these babies, then try to put the man on child support, raise
Try.
these
They do it.
kids to hate the man. You
Yep.
know what
They
I'm
do
saying?
it.
Raise the kids. Oh, your father ain't shit. Da 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 da. You know your father. He over there. He ain't shit. Da 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 da. But
Yep.
they never explain. They never take accountability or responsibility for knowing that a mistake happened,
Exactly.
not trying to correct that mistake. I had one
Exactly.
friend that was like, oh, I didn't know I was pregnant for like I think 4 or 5 months. And in my mind, I'm like, so you didn't not notice you didn't go to the doctor when you realized you wasn't having any periods.
You
Another
wildin'.
friend of mine,
You
another
wildin'.
friend of mine was like, oh, by the time I wanted to get it, it was too late. But
Pro choice.
this same friend got pregnant again and had an abortion like this. So it wasn't that you wanted that kid. You understand? So don't you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And
No, don't
now
call
you're
it a
mad
kid.
at
That's not what
the
they wanted. They
you
wanted the check.
you wanted the baby, and now you're
The
mad that
check.
for all these years the man isn't around,
The
but you
check.
knew. And
They wanted
that's
the check.
exactly my second point. Um, because I watched Tommy Sotomayor a lot, and what he was talking about was if, let's say for instance, the guy did say, yes, we're going to have this kid, I want to be with you, blah 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 blah, and then he disappeared, right? Instead of putting him on child
Yeah.
support, why not force him to just take the kid? I had one girl was like, "Oh, I didn't trust him. I wouldn't trust him with the baby and all this other stuff." And I feel like you won't know somebody you won't know how someone will react to something unless they're in that position. I
She
think
don't
that
want it. She can't take care of it. Give it up for abortion. Or I mean, adoption, not
well, no,
abortion. They shouldn't
no,
have
no,
those
no,
words together.
no. I don't feel like give it up for adoption. I feel like give it to the other parent or a grandparent or
Well, he already said he don't want it. If he said he don't want it, she don't want
Well,
it. All this.
what if he did say, because there's situations where you're in love with somebody, y'all full in love, and then you had a baby and he just realized he can't do it no more. But he agreed to be there with you through it.
See, like I have a situation in my life, right? I like hate my baby mother for what she did to me, and I tell her every time, anytime the world knows I have a trap baby. A whole plan. She planned, connived, and scheduled it and snuck it, hid it for 6 months, lied for 6 months, When I found out I was an 18-year-old kid, finding out this girl hid a pregnancy for 6 months on purpose to have a baby, and then tried to think that we was gonna be together. So at the end of the day, everything that ever happened to me about having a kid, and I tell a lot of people, I got a lot of female friends who don't like me because of my position on this, right? And I don't care, right? I don't think that kids, let alone any man, should be his life should be destroyed because of the choices that a woman have, and there is no rights or protection for a man. I don't like the women who say he should have wore a condom or not had sex, um, because that is even very offensive. Now it's crazy because we're in a Me Too world, but yet that is still one of the biggest non Me Too movements ever. They never going to fix that hypocrisy because agencies are involved that make thousands and trillions of dollars a day, right? So they're never going to fix that agency, and that's why they don't want abortions, because every time a woman aborts, it's $100,000 that she kills. These babies are priced at $100,000 to whatever county that they live in. Then they are censused into an expectation of what that county or what that place can ask for when they talk about their population. And then they are then again used when you're talking about the later and future economic world that they're going to have to be able to offer. Put them in a school, now that's a no number, a bigger number, more benefits, more government benefits, and more things they have to request and get. So that's why they play this game. But the only people that's really hurt is the fathers, right? Because at the end of the day, I told someone, I said, you know what? Women make babies. Men don't make babies. Women make.
Women definitely make babies. I was looking for this article, but basically, there's a white lady who offers to give hundreds of thousands of dollars for abortion, specifically to black women. And I'm trying to see. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to find this. They ain't playing with you, sis.
Hey, look, they hate me. I tell you, but like I've been saying
So
this on Facebook.
we have
No,
this
no, they
this
don't.
guy here.
No, they don't. They don't. All men do is have sex. The idea of making the baby is a decision that she has to decide once she finds out that she's pregnant.
But yeah, I was looking for this
My
article.
son, my oldest son, is a broken condom baby. And it was later found out that my baby mother poked holes in all her condoms. So don't say safe sex is the best sex. And it doesn't take two to tango. You can tango with three. You can tango by yourself.
You
There's a
so
doctor. There's a doctor right now who has to pay $3 million to his hotel maid. Right. This hotel maid knew that he had brought a prostitute into his hotel room. Waited until the prostitute left, and the hotel man, the doctor, left out the hotel room. She snuck into the room, grabbed the condom out of the trash can, and turkey based the baby from the doctor into him. The baby is 5 years old, and now that doctor has been taken to court and has been ordered to pay this maid $2 million for a 5-year-old child that he never knew he had. That's a turkey based baby. So
okay.
when we start thinking about stuff, we gotta realize, be like, wait a minute, y'all, this is happening. Well, of course it's happening because didn't Drake just have a situation where the girl had to found out that he put hot sauce in his condom because she was trying to turkey base herself to get pregnant. And of course, y'all know the sad part about it is if she would have gotten pregnant with that turkey based baby,
He
Drake
would
would have
have had
still
to
had
pay.
to pay for it. So, like I said, y'all know what's up. This world, yeah, Turkey Basin job big, but y'all know what's up. Like in this world, there is no protection to the man, let alone the black man. So, nah.
So
I'm pro abortion, but I'm more so on the lines that now men need decisions. Speaking of men needing decisions, they now have men birth control. So that's hilarious. But I think that men should have more decisions. There should be things that people there should be not only laws in place, but there should be forms that guys could fill out to be and let it be known within a certain amount of time frame or whatever the case may be. A lot of people say you can what is it called, reconcile your rights or sign over your rights or turn over your rights. I want to let you all know this. Yes, you can turn over your rights to your child, but that does not change you from any financial obligations. But let's just be real, guys. Financial obligations is not the real problem here. I don't think any man cares that he pays child support, right? I want to put that out there. I don't think any man cares that he pays child support.
that wanted the child.
Yeah, I don't think that even if he doesn't want the child, I think that he wants to take care of his child. I think that no man wants to take care of a child, be told and forced to be under the rules of this woman when he can see this child, pay for this child, however she says pay for this child, see the child, however she says see this child, let alone I didn't want this child in the first place. And even if I did want this child, it's even worse. But yet, we all know that if he makes more money, he's paying most of the bills. But yet she has all of the rights. So that's why men get pissed off with child support. Because you're telling me this woman can't afford to take care of my kid, but he has to live there? And you're telling me I can afford to take care of my kid, but he can't live with me?
Yeah, that
I
doesn't
have to
work.
send my money over there. That's how this has to work. Nah. No. Nah. Don't no
Yeah.
man want to be controlled and ridiculed and judged, and then can still be hearing the whispers. He'll dead be dad. That's the dude don't take care of his kids. He'll never see his kids because
But
she
get a
said that.
check every month.
A check every month. Mind you, my son was living with me and I was still having to pay $500 a month for child support. So like people say this is a real touchy situation for me. I really get mad about it because I tell people like I was 17 years old. 17 years old. After my state championship game, just go have a little bit of sex. Don't even talk to the girl anymore. Afterwards, and 6 months later, you got a baby on the way. Wait a minute. Talk about life altering? Life altering?
Oh
I
no,
had
that's
scholarship. I had
serious.
scholarships in football, and I was being offered to play in Major League Baseball. Already having tryouts with the Philadelphia Phillies for spring ball and everything. Like real life prodigy in sports. And that all changed with one decision from me that gave someone else the power over me to change my whole life forever. So no, no, no. I don't care. And women, y'all think I be hard on y'all. I got one of my friends right now. One of my friends, she's a real good friend, like a sister to me. Her whole family is like family to me. And she hates me. She's like, I don't know if I want to even keep following you anymore the way you talk. I'm like, listen, young, I understand you hate your baby father. I understand you may be mad at him. But come on now, you held the power in your hands.
Yep.
You
Nobody likes to hold women accountable for that. Like
I can't
I
walk you
feel
down
like
to the
it's
jump.
wrong.
I can't walk you down to the jump. Even before it gets to an abortion, you know if a nigga nutting, you can go buy a Plan B over the counter for $10,
So
something like
many,
that.
so many procedures. To,
Yeah, so
let me just
I'm
get
not
off of it.
I don't feel bad about it.
Where the other thing, oh, it's not enough funding for colored and black women to get these procedures. Where are they going to get the money from? Well,
Well,
Mackenzie Scott, um, she's a Caucasian lady. Mackenzie Scott donated a record of 275 million.
to abortions?
275 million
So
to
that's like
Planned
what?
Parenthood
That's like fucking.
for
That's like a good amount of
for
abortions right there.
black and brown women or people that are unable to get these things
I,
done.
I believe that there should be a new law in place, and they should start a census that all men that ask for the child to be aborted should get all their child support back.
Yep, I think so too. And I feel like so the thing about Mackenzie,
Well, I
the
never
way
asked
I
for an
do
abortion. I didn't even know she was pregnant. So by the time she was pregnant, it was too late. By the
the
time I
the
found out, it was too late.
the thing about Mackenzie donating this money is a lot of black women are offended. Like you're giving us money to kill our babies.
I thought that's what they wanted.
I mean, do
No,
you want? And that's the thing. They don't want to not have the kids. They want to have the kids and complain about the men that they're having the kids with.
I think
Um,
that everybody should have that freedom of choice. And now, I mean, when I say everybody, it should be men and women. Like, even if she doesn't, he should have an option, and it should be like, all right, bet this is what I want. This is what I want. Okay, bam. Are you guys agreeing on this? Boom, let it go.
well, I'm glad they're coming up with the male birth control because
Yeah,
this
I'm putting all my sons on it. All my sons on it. All of them. You women ain't gonna get over on us. Not again. You won't screw over another Trowell boy in this house. No, sir. I'm putting all my sons on it. I'm gonna
yeah,
walk them down there like I'm gonna walk them down like in the late early '90s. How all the mothers was taking their 14-year-olds down. I'm dragging them.
my father said, "Hey, your ass ain't get pregnant, poor girl."
Hell no.
But I
It
think
is
that's
what it
why
is.
I'm so for just the measures because I know that as a woman, me personally, like I was scared to get pregnant at a young age. Like I thought my father was going to disown me. Like that was the biggest fear that I had more than anything was for my father. He used to say, "If you get pregnant, I'm gonna wash my hands over you." So
That's
that
good,
kept me
dad.
on birth control for a long ass time. And then
Right.
finally, if I do decide, it's just never it's a forever decision. Like it's something that you can't go back on. And that's what I learned at an early age is that
Right.
once you do that, you can't just put the baby back inside of you. You can't do that. So you have
Nope.
to, you know that this is what you want, and you have to think about your child's future. What type of situation are you bringing this kid into? You
Yeah,
don't
you
want to
know when you
bring
say
a
feature to
kid.
these, you know when you say feature to these people, they think you're talking about the rapper. So
No, you don't want to bring a kid into this world knowing that the father didn't want him. Like I'm just going to be frank. Like, you can't
yeah,
do that. You just can't because that child suffers.
yeah,
More than anything, that child suffers. Regardless, anytime a woman decides to bring a child into this world, you got to think about what the child is going
yep.
to
Show enough do.
and
Show
make
enough do.
better decisions about that. Now, I did want to talk about real brief before we go, and we might not get into the whole topic, but last week you talked about professional presentation, digital
Yes.
professional presentation, and
Yes.
I got a lot of good feedback on that. However, I feel like a lot of people aren't like taking notes to what you're saying because even going through, like a lot of artists' Instagram page, it's really hard to find emails. Who's your manager? Like, like stuff like that, just
Mhm.
in a
Mhm.
general profile sense. In my, I'm about to ask you a question. So basically, my question to you is, as far as that goes, what if someone doesn't know how to write a bio on themselves? They don't have
Wow.
grammar skills because you got to think about it. And we're this right here that I'm about to say is specific to rappers.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna say
That's
R&B artists are illiterate, but a lot of rappers are illiterate. Illiterate
yeah.
as AF.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so a task of writing a bio on themselves could be very overwhelming. You
Yes.
know, um. So, what type of advice would you give to someone that
Well, like,
may lack those skills?
all right.
Like, what
I'm a
should you put?
don't think I'm harsh, guys. But the first bit of advice I'm gonna give you is educate yourselves. Learn how to read. Learn how to write, learn how to talk. I do see a lot of rappers. They show me their papers. They be like trying to write notes for me. They show me their papers, and I'm thinking that they aliens. I'm like, what the fuck is this hieroglyphics, bro? You don't know how to write? You know, they're like, nah, bro, but you know what I'm saying though. And I'm like, nah, I don't, nigga. Is this a R or a P? what is happening right now, right? So, but learn how to read and write first of all. But second of all, y'all, it's too. We got to stop making excuses for anybody to say they don't know how anymore, right, Jezebel?
Yeah,
Sorry, because
it's
first
okay.
of all, it's this. This is the first thing. Y'all keep on saying you don't know how when on Google, if you want to know how to, you want to see this, you want to see that, you type in everything. There's these keywords, how to, that goes in front of it, and then write a bio. Now, what's my problem that I'm having with a lot of artists, not just rappers, of course, y'all don't like using Google except for when it's to get into some gossip, right? If you don't know how to do something and you're afraid to ask people that are already doing it, and I get it, young, a lot of y'all people are turning people off with this charging them and pay me and information ain't free. Yes, it is. Information has always been free. Dummies, libraries, you get a library card, you can take any book home and read it and bring it back, right? Always been free. School, education, they give it to you. Always been free. The only thing that has not been free is extended, continued education like college, because that is stuff that they're teaching you now how to make money and survive in a world that is completely and for high school, into the real world. And if you and obviously a lot of y'all made it out. That's why you can't really read and write and stuff like that, because you made it out on merit, or you made it out on we just got to get this kid up out of here. D's and D average you can pass and things like that. But no, man, you gotta ask people. It's easy to write a bio. Ask Google, right? And I'm gonna tell you like this: the bio is your life. What have you done?
Yep.
Now, I'd rather look at a bio with misspelled words and fix that than to for someone to tell me I don't know how to write a bio. I don't have one. I mean, you don't know where you were born. You can't tell me that you was born in Washington D.C. and you grew up on the mean streets of Southeast and you started rapping in 1997 and your first song,
They don't know how to word it. So I was thinking,
copy and paste.
a few tips. Yeah, you can definitely look at someone else's bio and create your own, but you can even put just three general sentences in it. Hi, well, not even hi. You're gonna be like Jezebel the Truth was born and raised in Washington, in the uptown side of Washington D.C. or Upper Northwest. Boom, first sentences. Okay,
Yeah,
check out Jezebel the Truth. She has been doing music since the age of 12. Has worked with so and so artists. Boom, second sentence.
yeah,
Okay, third sentence is check out latest album, blah 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 blah, or latest single, blah blah, and just keep your bio updated. That's one way. Three simple sentences. Okay. For more
yeah,
information, click the links below. Link is Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, etc. That's just a
yeah.
quick way to put something in your Spotify or your Apple Music bio, just to
Right.
give people an idea of who you are.
No, like Tony said, just go play Mortal Kombat and read everyone's bio.
That's true. That is so true. Even in Street
No, but
Fighter, they had
you have bio
bio.
generators now. You got a bio generator now, like right. So y'all
I
just
didn't even know that.
yeah, download a bio generator, and it's going to ask you these type of questions like, "What's your name? Where were you born? What city was you born in? Where did you start this?" And it's going to ask you that, and when you're done, it'll start putting it all in little nice little words for you. Y'all, this word is too easy. We don't. Y'all don't have to be so technical no more. But also, let me just give y'all the 100 raw deal answer, like, because this is what my people want to hear, y'all. This is what the people want to hear. You pay a manager, you put your team together, and you let these people work for you. I'm gonna tell y'all rappers like I told you 2 years ago. You don't have to do everything on your team, dog. You ain't gotta write your bio, book your shows, schedule your appointments, lock in your studio, pick your beats. You ain't gotta be empower people, delegate people. It's called creating jobs You create these jobs, and these people will help your image and your status and everything you got to do grow. Because
Got
everybody talks about their job. It's like you ever mess with my like my job tight, my job. Well, what y'all think? What these people that everybody are calling them all day like, what you doing? I'm at work. Well, how you at work? Well, you know my job like that. I work for Success. We don't do shit. I'm just getting them some shows. I already booked all the paperwork and got his bio and shit together. It's cool over here. You don't think they love that?
mm,
Like I keep telling y'all, like if you want to be a business, most of y'all need to stop and start trying to go get a deal. I'm gonna tell y'all that now. But if you want to be a business, start structuring yourself like businesses run. Businesses have managers, business have supervisors, business have crews, business have um, accounting, businesses have HR, like all of this stuff, marketing. These businesses have SEOs. These businesses have Instagrams that are popping with marketing. These businesses run ads. These businesses are in the street with street stuff. So come on, y'all. It's all out there. If you want to do this stuff, you start moving and doing it. It's there. It's for us to work.
now,
It's-
last question, because it's almost time for us to get out of here, y'all. And I just a quick question for you. Apple Music, Spotify, Title, which
mm.
streaming platform do you feel like you get the most feedback or the most streams?
Well, obviously Spotify. Spotify is the most. Instagram. I mean, not yeah. Instagram and Facebook are cool, but Spotify is the
Wait,
most
wait,
active.
wait, slow down. So your so when people stream your music on Instagram, you can see that as an artist.
Yes. Yep.
Oh, oh,
And I get paid as well, so it's pretty cool. So you guys keep on using it. I love all the people that's using my songs in their tag in their stories. A lot of people are using styling in their story. You guys are lit. A lot of ladies are using DPWY, and you guys are really lit. So yeah, I can see all that. It's pretty good. Yep.
okay.
You
All
get
right.
all the analytics from TikTok to
Mhm.
everything, right? I know a lot of people keep trying to make TikTok songs, and I'm gonna tell all y'all stupid, but keep doing y'all thing, keep making y'all music for TikTok. As stupid as it may be, one day you make it to go viral. But if you're not
What
using
makes
any
you
type
think
of
it's
marketing,
stupid?
I believe that there's artists that are telling me I'm only making songs for TikTok now, and I'll say it why I say it's stupid after I say it's stupid again. But why is it stupid? Well, who are you to corner the market, and who do you think you are that people's checking for your music out of the millions of songs to TikTok? And if you don't know, every song that I can get on TikTok, when I hear that little 15-second, 30-second snippet, the first thing I do if I like it is go to Spotify to see if I can get it. Or Apple, right? So now once I usually can't find a song that I love on TikTok on one of those sites, I get irritated.
Mm.
You know? TikTok is a moment in your song that people focus on, not the song. Y'all want to have bow 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 bow. You want to listen to that for 2 minutes? Stop it. Okay? So all you artists like, I'm only making music for TikTok, these little 30 seconds or whatever, you're stupid. You're making music and it just goes on TikTok as well. If people catch it, you come up with something to it, great. But don't corner off the market. You're nobody. You're not big enough to do that. You're not big enough to do that. And even if you're Jay-Z, Adele, or whatever the case may be, you're not big enough to say, I'm only making music for this one place. That's a app in a moment with billions of people on it. I don't know how many people on TikTok we can look on it right now to see, but come on. So no. But Spotify
Okay.
is the number one. Apple Music is like number 3 or 4. You know, a lot of people do not have Apple Music. A lot of people don't pay for it. Android users will say things to you like, "I have an Android," like that means something, and you don't even want to tell them that you could put an Apple Music on your Android because you just want them to sound smart. When they say, "I have an Android," you be like, "Okay,
I used
cool,
to
cool,
say
cool."
that. I used to say that. I
Yeah,
mean, why when I have Spotify?
yeah. A lot of people just use Spotify. You will get those cool there's a group of men that want to be cool around 39 to 45 years old. Would they will say to you things like, "I use Title. Is it on Title or is it on Amazon?" You really want to run from those people. All right. You could tell them yes, but don't focus on those people because, again, they're not going to buy. They're not going to purchase. They're not going to share and they're not going to talk, right? Everyone that uses Spotify is actively going to talk about your music if it's good. All Spotify users are active. You know, they say things, and if y'all don't understand this, they say things to you like, "Dude, you only got 40 monthly listeners," and they laugh. And you're like, "You don't even make music, bro. So what? Neither do you, obviously." You're right. So you got to understand that these algorithms on Spotify, what they have created, what Spotify has managed to do is create a alpha system, right? It's letting you know who's top dog, and it's giving you always goals to achieve. It's like such and such reached 7 billion streams this week. You're like, shit, I'm about to reach 8 billion. Fuck that.
Uh-huh.
You know, what I'm saying?
That's
Apple don't give you
pretty
these
much
goals. Apple don't tell you who's number one on Apple. They give you this little chart of who all the top songs of the week is and Apple playlist, blah blah blah, whatever the case may be. But it don't be like who's the number one artist on Apple. Does anybody know?
great.
No, he's not. He's not.
Drake is my answer for everything.
It is your answer for everything. It is your answer for everything. Kanye West actually holds the record for most views on Apple Music at one time. Who knows who owns the record for most plays on Apple Music, and we'll let them know that next week. But I'm pretty confident that those are the things that are not advertised through these apps. You know, artists. I'll tell y'all some gems about Apple Music and Spotify next week as well. Some things that you might want to know is you might want to ask yourself, why does Apple Music pay artists and Spotify doesn't? Hmm. That's a better question to ask.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Spotify does not pay artists directly, but artists get paid from streaming on Spotify. Hence, the 52,600 artists that generated over 10,000. Let's say that again. $10,000 on Spotify just last year. And guess what? Only 15,000 of them uploaded their own music, meaning they did it themselves. So
Yeah, you said
we're
15,000.
talking more. Yeah,
Ain't that so crazy? Ain't that so crazy though?
15,140.
Ain't that so crazy though? Spotify is bragging on paying out all this money to these artists after they screwed over 50,000 artists last year.
Well, we'll get more into that next week. I just wanted y'all to know,
We definitely got to talk about that next week because Spotify, I'm on your ass.
choose your platforms. I mean,
Now
put
I
your
ain't gonna
music
lie,
on
I
all the
made my money. I make
platforms.
money on Spotify, y'all. I'm not gonna lie, I make good money on Spotify. That's why I really focus on it, man. My album did like 1.3 million. My new album is already at 200,000. 6 Speed, which is my first real crazy album on that joint, we did over 400,000. So like we really doing well on Spotify. But I can really use y'all share buttons. So click those share buttons on my albums and keep on tagging them and doing all that good stuff. Add me to y'all Spotify playlists. I love that. And for all y'all that do have me to y'all playlist, I can see that. I can see y'all playlists that y'all have me on. Y'all lit. Y'all the best, right? So I love y'all for that.
Yeah, so we'll get into more details about the breakdown of how much money you could get on Spotify and also how you're missing out on money on
Period.
Spotify. Yeah, yeah,
Now
not
is
just
period girls saying, a female saying? All right, well, we'll talk about it next week. Period.
I don't know. I don't. We can't be. I don't. There's no such thing as gender.
Hey, I got 3 boys, 4 boys, and 1 girl. So
You
there
can't
is
say that.
gender.
You can't say that.
Hey.
You can't
I'ma
say
tell her,
that.
hey, well, they're gonna have to start putting it on birth certificates then.
I mean, they're about to.
So
They're
we
about
we're gonna we're
to.
gonna have to, we're gonna have to start saying words like we have. What are you having today? It's gonna have a penis.
No, you can't even say that. You just say I'm just having a child.
A child.
Yeah, I'm having a baby. What are you
Soon that's
having?
gonna be offensive. Soon that's gonna be offensive.
look, look.
I'm
I
just
wanna.
having a being. I'm just
I
having a
mean,
being.
it it
Well,
it is what it is. But while y'all
Y'all
sitting here,
already know.
just make sure y'all go ahead and like
Like,
and
hit that
if
like and
you are not
subscribe button.
subscribed, go ahead, hit that down below. You know what I'm saying? Show us some love. You know what I'm saying? Follow us on the social media platforms if you haven't done so
Duh.
already. Yes,
I'm
definitely.
almost out of Instagram jail. I'll be in Instagram jail for 30 more days. But y'all go ahead and follow the Rolling with Success page because we're going lit. And the Boss Biz Radio page. And also
Yes,
share some of these daggone stories and videos because we got some stuff up.
yes.
Now, the Boss Biz page has been popping lately. If y'all haven't paid attention, share some of these clips from the show. So that's lit. Now, of course, y'all already know, Jezebel, what you got coming up?
Well, next week in studio, we should be having Honcho. Unfortunately, I had to reach
Honcho
out
who?
to my guest.
Honcho. Honcho. Honcho
Yeah,
with the locks? KV Honcho?
does it still have lock?
Same honcho from Atlanta or DC?
Yeah. So
Oh, that's gonna be
working with
interesting.
I'm working with Beezy. You know, Beezy manages a few artists, so we'll be kicking out a few interviews with them. Actually, shout out Beezy Unplugged Studios. If you guys need, you know, studio time, you know, we got podcast room, all that. Just make sure y'all go ahead and hit them up. Hit up my man Beezy. You know what I'm saying? He
Yeah,
always looking out.
I
So
know.
yeah,
I know. We'll since we're doing shout outs right now. I gotta give a shout out to my man Face Lover. Y'all go and check out his listening party is coming up, so y'all be on the lookout for that.
yes,
Y'all make sure y'all follow him. Get on that listening party. Yeah, I'm a part of this. I am a part of the marketing team that's helping to market that project, and we're gonna be going crazy with that. We've been running up the streets. Shout out my man Bag to Beat Bundles and Roster
yes.
Biggs. They went down Texas South by
I
Southwest,
saw
put on
that.
for the DMV area. And my
I
man
saw
Bundles
that.
and Roster Biggs has dropped a new record and video, Cereal Bars. The record is going crazy right now on all platforms. Y'all go check that out. And of course, I gotta show some love to my boy Pro Da Vinci. So we all out here, we working hard. J Money Gibbs, I already shouted him out earlier. Y'all go check out some of his movies. A lot of them on Tubi. He has one movie, Salute, on Amazon. He has roles and he's talking on it. The movie's about 40 minutes. Y'all can go watch that. He was also in Charm City Kings, that little biker movie with Meek Millie, and a couple of other movies. So y'all go check out my man. That's just some DMV excellence for y'all that y'all didn't or wasn't aware. We should start sharing light on more DMV excellence to what these people doing in the city and around y'all. I guess that's what we'll do. Well, at this time, y'all know y'all should be flicking off those roaches, putting those ashes in the ashtray, and getting ready to roll up another one. Cause I am. And we out. Peace.
Bye, bye, y'all. See y'all next week.